Hi everyone, this is Rachel Olson, and I'm going to be showing you today how to find articles using the New York Times database in the library catalog. But first, I want to show you, this video isn't meant to discourage you from using the New York Times' website. They really do have some neat stuff. For instance, I was looking at something under science, and if you click on certain things, they'll have really cool interactive pages that you can look through. It's going to link to lots of things, so I'm not trying to get you to not use this website, but you'll notice down here, if I try to read more on this article, it's going to prompt me to log in, and I do not have a New York Times login because it's not free. So as we go along, I'll be showing you some things where you can get the text of the articles. Okay, so here's how to search in the New York Times database on the library's website specifically. So from library.uncg.edu, you're going to click on Databases, and we're going to click on In for New York Times. And then we're going to scroll down. You can see we have two options for New York Times access. So if you are looking for things published from 1985 to today, you're going to use this first one. If you're looking for things before 1985, this would be a good source for you, New York Times Historical. So I'm going to start off with the most commonly used one, which is the current one, and click on the title. And let's just do a basic search for some things. So under search within this publication, I'm going to type baby boomers, and actually I'm going to put baby boomers in quotation marks so that it doesn't search for the word baby separate from the word boomers. And I'm putting a big and in there. This is called Boolean searching, and basically what you need to know is that I'm telling the database, okay, you've got to include this one term, baby boomers, and whatever term I'm about to include next. So let's try baby boomers and demographics and click search. So I'm telling it, find me something from the New York Times 1985 to recent that includes the phrase baby boomers and the word demographics. And you can see up here, because I'm searching for New York Times specifically, that's what that pub ID means. It means it's just searching in this one publication. I have 980 results, so I'm going to narrow it down just a little bit. I want to click on Limit to Full Text right here, which means it's just going to show me articles that we have immediate access to, which is most of them. On the left side again, you could narrow it down even more. If you wanted things just published from, let me say, 2009 to 2019, I could do that and click Update. You could also choose specific dates, as you saw when the calendar feature came up. You can narrow it down all kinds of ways. That's probably good for me for right now. So I'm going to click on this first article, Millennials Set to Outnumber Baby Boomers, 2015 by Douglas Quinqua. And you can see here there's the full text of the article. If you would rather have it as a PDF, you can click Save as PDF. You can also cite, click the Cite button. And for your course, I believe you'll be using APA citations. This citation does look correct to me at first glance, but I'm going to definitely encourage you to use the library's citation tutorial, which I can put a link to at the end of this video, and double check these, because oftentimes citation generators, even ones through the library's website, are going to be incorrect. Actually, there is a mistake right here. That bracket should not be there. Another feature that I really like in this database is if you click on Abstract and Details, you can see these subject headings that they've given you. So if you were having trouble coming up with other keywords to search, other things to look for, this might be helpful. So that's the basics on how to use the New York Times current database. If you want to check something older than 1985, let's go back to library.uncg.edu, click on Databases. Again, click on In, and we're going to scroll down to New York Times Historical. I may have passed it. Here it is, New York Times Historical. This has full text from 1851, which is when the New York Times started, to now, or 3 years ago, excuse me, which is pretty impressive. So this time I'm going to do something a little more advanced to show you more of that Boolean searching we were just talking about. I'm going to click on Advanced Search. And here, I'm going to do something a little more complicated. So let's try baby boomers. Sometimes if you type the word or, it will automatically give you some suggestions. It doesn't seem to want to do that. So I'm going to actually just leave that off for now. And maybe I will try healthcare or health or medical care, or you could try Medicare. It's really up to you. You're going to know based on what you're searching for because of the content of the course. You will know better than I am what's more relevant for your research. And then let's try political. Maybe we're interested in that. So what I'm telling it is you need to give me the phrase baby boomers. And again, I'm going back and putting these in quotation marks. You don't necessarily have to do that. It's just kind of a good precaution so that your search is as refined as possible. So I'm saying to the database, okay, you need to give me articles that include the phrase baby boomers. I can also try baby boomer and one of these terms and the term political. Okay, and you could change this up any way you wanted to. All kinds of different combinations are possible here. Publication date, I'm going to let it give me all dates. Under document type, you don't really have to use this. You could click on article, but that might leave out some things that aren't strictly considered articles, like editorials that might be really helpful. So I'm going to leave that off. And let's click search. 579 results. And again, this is everything from 1851 to about 2016. So our results are definitely different than what we will see in the other New York Times database. So this is what we're calling the archive for purposes of your class. So if you hear Rebecca refer to the New York Times archive, we mean the New York Times historical database. So let's limit to full text again. I only want to see things we have instant access to, which is everything in this case. And it kept my filter from the other one, the other database. So I'm actually going to say 1980 to 2019. Let's just see what that does and click update. Okay. Let's also look at document type. Maybe we do want to narrow that down. So I'll click article. And you can see this article is from 1986, this article 1995, 97, so you have all kinds of different ones. They are right now sorted in terms of how relevant the database feels they are to our search results. So I'm going to click on this first one. This is from 1986, April. Right here you can see it. Okay, and this is actually the way it looked printed in the database. Some databases will do this for you, some databases won't. This is how it looked when it was printed on the New York Times page instead of just the PDF. That's kind of interesting. You can see this is Joe Biden, 43. So this is way back when. If you click page view PDF, again, it will show you kind of what else was on the page as well, along with our article. So if you're interested in layout, things like that, our article's actually over here, if we can scroll over that way. And so you can see here's an illustration that came along with it. We didn't get that in the other view, and you wouldn't usually get that in the New York Times, the other database that we were looking at. Just in the historical is usually when you're going to see stuff like this. So it's kind of cool. But you can click abstract and details as well. Okay, here are kind of all the metadata information that you would want about it. You can download PDF, and it will come down here. And this should be, yeah, this is just the article, whereas the other view, if we click download page PDF, that's actually going to have the illustration on it. So if that's important to you, that is a good thing to know. I will point out that I believe not all of these articles are screen reader accessible. If there is one that you need and you have some accessibility requirements, we can definitely help you out with that here at the library. I want to be sure to include in this video a couple resources for you to use. So uncg.libguides.com/newspapers, which will be on the slide at the end of this video, so you have the link. This is a really good resource. This is me. You can email, chat. If you click schedule appointment, you can schedule an appointment slot if you need to come in person. This video is on how to find articles in the New York Times database, just very generally. This video that you're currently watching is a lot more specific, but you can definitely check out newspapers from North Carolina, around the world, historical newspapers. So you're not just limited to the New York Times in your searching. And one more thing that I would like to show you is the guide for gerontology. So it's uncg.libguides.com/GRO. And again, here's me. This has some resources that are very specific to the study of gerontology. So if you're interested in that, wanted to be sure to point it out as well. It will be on the next slide. Thank you.